Thank you to the organisers and to the audience for being invited here today to speak about accident incident investigation. This is a subject very close to my heart. I'll tell you a bit about my background. I spent 24 years in the British Army. In the Army, I was given targets when I'd done exercises and operations. So many people could get killed and so many people could get injured before we stopped an exercise. I left the forces and I went into health and safety. And I thought, manufacturing, very simple construction, no accidents, no incidents, everything's in place. And for the first 7 years, it was like that. I didn't have serious accidents or incidents. And then one day, and I'll never forget it, the 7th of January, 2006, I went into my factory early. It was my birthday. And I was greeted with the supervisor. We had a serious accident in my quarry. And I thought, well, everything gets exaggerated. We all experienced accidents and incidents, and it's the luxury of never experiencing anything serious. When I went to my quarry, I seen the operator, a gentleman called Stuart, with half his face missing. It was a sharp wake-up call for me. To this day, I still remember it. I looked at him. I didn't know what to do. I looked at the people around about me. And I thought, well, this guy's going to die. I'll deal with the casualties who are in shock. The place was chaotic. Thankfully, the gentleman got taken to hospital and he made a full recovery. But it took 18 months, several operations, to get him back to facial reconstruction. I thought my job was done when the man went to hospital. The rude awakening came, and very much like our factories here, he had a son worked with us, so we had to isolate the son away from the workforce before that person heard about his father's accident. We'd done that successfully, and then the next thing, because I'm the health and safety manager, I had to go and chap the wife's door. That is the hardest thing, and the one thing I remember. The woman was going to work as I'm trying to push her back in the house to get her to sit down, relax, calm, to tell her her husband is on the way to the hospital in Livingston and he may not survive. When you're standing there with a hysterical person, reality kicks in. You don't know what to say. You aren't trained for it. We aren't trained for it. So it was a very, very rude awakening to me. So that's why accident incident investigation is very close to me. And since that, I have experienced other serious accidents and incidents. And I have been to court, both in the defense side, defending people, companies, and in the prosecution side. So quickly go through. The presentation contents is about incident response. How do we respond to an incident? How can we control incidents? Incident investigation, very important. Now, the person I spoke about, Stuart, on that day, he wasn't meant to be doing the job he was doing. He was to do another job. He lost half his face because it came in contact with a rotating fan blade. I want you to remember that, because at the end, I want to see if we can find out what the root cause was. So he was meant to be welding the stacker reclaimer rails, just like a railway track. On a day, he went to the stacker reclaimer to watch the directional rotation of a fan. We believe that a cable was going to get trapped. He put his hand in to rescue it. His PP got caught and dragged him in, and his face came in contact with the fan blades. Why did it happen? I will tell you at the end. Or maybe someone from the audience can tell me. Incident analysis. We need to analyze incidents, and this is something we're not good at. We think we are, but I'm sure when I get to the end of this, you'll see we're not very good at this. And remedial actions. This is just the objectives. This is part of a larger presentation, and I'll happily share the full presentation with anyone in the audience. I know that Samara will send out the information. You need to understand the importance of effective and thorough investigation. I'm sure you've all heard it. He was to blame. No, he wasn't. He didn't get up in the morning and decide he was going to go to work and injure himself. Collectively, the organisation is to blame, and I will discuss that later. Demonstrate the practical skills required to respond to an accident investigation. Once an accident happens, we have the sheep effect. Everybody wants to be part of the accident scene. The accident scene, even in Oman, is a criminal scene until the police release it. You keep the minimum people there, but we don't. Every manager wants to be part of it. Every person wants to be part of it. Wrong. You keep the minimum number of people there. Make meaningful recommendations and preventive actions. And once you've written them down, follow up to make sure that they have been implemented. And have an accident prevention program. Don't wait till the accident happens. Actually plan for the accident. Think what can go wrong. And have plans in place. Practice those plans. At RACEUC, we've just, this year, emergency response team. I've spoken to some of the training providers in the room about delivering training for that team. They will be trained in firefighting, they will be trained in first aid, they will be trained in rescue techniques. And they will have prevention plans for different scenarios. Understand the critical of accident investigation, the criticalities of it, and the reporting process. I'll speak about the reporting process later, both from my experience in the UAE, 7 years, and also so far in Oman. And determine the causes of accidents with good recommendations. So we all know what an accident is. It's an unplanned event that will lead to loss or harm. And the incident is an unplanned and unexpected event that no harm will occur. Correct? That's the NIBOSH definition. It's the definition worldwide. In my opinion, it's not an undesired event because we've just heard about the HAZOP studies. We've heard about other investigation techniques. If we do the studies, we can plan for the event. We can plan for that eventuality. But we don't. The gentleman spoke about the bearing. We will plan for the failure of a bearing, but we won't plan from someone falling in a harness and when he's dangling there for suspension trauma. 7 to 20 minutes to survive. How do we rescue him? We'll go and get a crane. Well, by that time, he's probably in the first stages of unconsciousness and then possibly death. So these are the planning things that we have to do. This is our perception. Accidents just happen, regardless. We can put everything in place, they will happen. As I said earlier, the person's to blame. That is the one thing I will never accept in any organisation. The person is to blame. The person is not to blame. He may be a contributory factor to the accident, but he did not go into work that day to injure or kill himself. The accident was unavoidable. All accidents are avoidable. I'll go back to what I said. Plan for the accident. Put procedures in place. Look at where the accidents are. Go back in trends. Where is the main cause of your accidents? In my plant, biggest cause of accidents, hands. Why? Poor selection of gloves. Where's the most accidents happen? In my packing plant. Why? Most people use their hands in the packing plant. So we started to look at it, analyse the trends of our accidents. And as it says there, accident failures are part of your management system has failed. And I may be speaking to the converted, but most people don't go back to the management system and interrogate it. We'll look at the risk assessment, we'll look at the procedure, but we don't go right back into the root of the accident, the whole management system. When you look at a procedure, you're not looking at the knowledge of the person, you're not looking at the knowledge of the manager, and you're certainly not looking at the frame of mind of that individual. Now, there's a few people in the audience know me. I go to work in the morning, I'm very happy, and generally I'll say hello to everyone. And this again is a true case. I investigated an accident where the person was quite a bubbly character, a joking character and do things, and he had an accident. That day, his mind wasn't in the job. He had fallen out with his wife before he came to work. His whole persona changed. No one challenged it. No one asked the person, what's up with you? They sent him away, and he had an accident. Thankfully not serious. But he had fallen out with his wife, and he wasn't thinking about his job. He was thinking about what he's coming back to at night to face the wife and the wrath of the wife. The other thing here is, and I've experienced it, people have accidents. I mean, you talk to the poor injured person, he hasn't been paid for 2 months. He's not thinking about the job, he's thinking about how do I support my family in Pakistan, Bangladesh, or India. But as managers, we let him work, and we don't ask, have you been paid this month? No, why not get the company in, the contract company in, get these people paid? His mind's not in the job, he's not focused. And it's happened to me in the UAE, and it happened to me here 2 weeks ago in Oman. A contributory factor to an accident. Very important, the state of a person's mind. The manager knows his individuals. They should know if his persona or her persona changes. Why? Speak to them. As I said, uninformed comments, accidents just happen. We don't have many accidents. Yes, we do. We just don't report them. Yeah, I know there's a lot of oil and gas people here. I've worked a little bit with oil and gas. And one of the things that happens in all companies, we give bonuses. As soon as you attach a bonus, your reporting goes down. Because no one wants to lose the bonus. No one wants to lose the 60-inch plasma TV. Reward systems are good, but they have to be managed correctly. And they can be a contributory factor to the accident because you can underreport. Safety is expensive. No, it's not. The cost of someone's life, the cost of someone getting seriously injured is expensive. You've destroyed their life forever. With every accident, it has a direct impact on about 36 people directly impacting. Indirectly, you're affecting about 3 times that. So over 100 people are indirectly affected by accidents. Safety is common sense. We all have common sense? Yes? No. Because my common sense is different from everyone in this room's common sense. Don't think common sense is everyone's got common sense. Because they don't. We use it all the time. Common sense. I'm sorry. It's not so common, correct. And safety is the HSE's responsibility. My HSE manager in the room, when I first arrived, he got quite a rude awakening. Every one of my managers knows safety is their responsibility. And they investigate accidents, not me. So as I said, before the accident happens, create your action plan. Look at where your accidents occur. Look at the trends, historic trends, and then put plans in place. Create an accident investigation policy and treat it like any other policy from the top management down. Develop investigation procedures. Important. In every accident, what happens? Who actually sees what happens? Anyone? You have a bang. You have something happens. Someone looks and they paint a picture. If you don't separate witnesses and have that in your procedure, the strong character will tell the other people exactly what you want to hear. So you have to have procedures to separate witnesses and to get to the root cause of accidents. And practice for failures. I've been speaking to people in the room, trainers, about getting rescue at height equipment. We all have equipment. We don't practice, we don't use it. I've just been given a sign. Accident types, we all know these, so quickly through them. The presentation will be sent to you. Casual factors, individual. Knowledge, skills, training, experience, personality, attitude. What I spoke about. Has his attitude changed? What's changed it? Risk perception. I'm a safety professional. I've jumped out of aeroplanes, I've done snow and ice climbing, so I've got no fear of risk. But I know I've got safety measures. Second parachute, reserve chute. I'm on safety lines. Look at the job. Task. Is a person capable of doing it? The workload, his workload. Is he being bullied into doing it? The equipment he's using, is it designed right? Go back to the engineering stage, the design stages. The controls in place. I pressed the emergency stop once. It was meant to stop all the equipment, but it didn't. It stopped half the equipment. The link to the most critical part of the equipment wasn't linked. The rotating shafts. Procedures and the environment you're working in. These are what you should look at. Policy, procedures, equipment, materials, environment, task, people and operators. Every accident, you should cover every one of those points. Deal with immediate risks. Make the area safe. Get people away. Only the people that are necessary to be in the accident scene should be there. Select your level of investigation. Not all accidents need a full root cause analysis. You have to decide what investigation level you have and who will be involved in that. Investigate the event, not what you think has happened. Go back and reconstruct it for serious accidents and incidents. Don't start the equipment, reconstruct it, do a full reconstruction with the people that were there and involve them. Record and analyse the results you get and communicate them, and then review your processes. As I said, who investigates accidents? Managers and supervisors, not the HSE team. I'm there to support the investigation and make sure the investigation is done correctly. My managers investigate it, or supervisor. Okay, I've just been told it's time up. There are a few other slides. I apologise. The presentation will be given to you. Samara will send out the details also. If anybody wants to talk about it, then feel free. One of the things I would like to just finish off on is one of the things that has to be done, in my opinion, in the region is more sharing of accidents and incidents through companies. And the other thing is for the government to have a database of safety professionals with experience in different industries to support the police in accident and incident investigation. The police come to the accident scene, they're looking at it from a criminal perspective. Can someone be prosecuted? Those are two things, in my opinion, I think needs to be changed, and only the people in this room can start that change. Thank you very much. I'm sorry that it was a bit short.